You just posted in the Share Your Wins recently that you spent 10K on ad spend and you did 100K revenue, 80K cash. So an 8x return.
That's something that really stood out for me and was a direct result of why I saw so much success because
All right, we have Mitch Watts on the other line over here, a AIA client, and today we're going to be talking about his success inside AIA. So Mitch, welcome to the show. If you want to give everybody a quick intro of who you are and what you do, that'd be awesome, man.
yeah, man. So I'm a day trader from Sydney, Australia, and essentially I teach everyday people how to trade the stock market with a very high success rate, bypassing years of trial and error, and essentially giving everyone, a proven process on a silver platter. So that's who I am. That's what I'm all about, and I love changing people's lives.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that. And I want to just jump straight into it with you, man, because you have a very yours is a little bit different than most of the clients that we come on here and interview is, as you said, you're in Australia and most of our coaching calls are usually in like 12 p.m. EST. So it's the time zone's a little bit different for you, but you just posted in the Share Your Wins recently that I believe you spent 10K on ad spend and you did 100K revenue, 80K cash. So an 8x return. And all of this is just, going through the curriculum, not even just hopping on calls and taking advantage of the 5 coaching calls we have a week. So, would you mind, talking about that success and just kind of elaborating a little bit on that?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like you said, being in Australia, I think those calls are around 2 or 3 a.m. I am up, trading the market at around 12 or 1 a.m. But that's pretty much my limit. So unfortunately, I don't get to jump on any of those coaching calls. So I'm sure there is plenty of source in there, but for me, just following the curriculum and implementing the steps that are there was more than enough to see the results as long as you put in the work. So like anything, in the same way that I'm providing a proven process for my clients to bypass the trial and error, AIA does exactly that. They're giving you a proven process to bypass trial and error so that you can implement the things that actually work right from the start, which means you see results right from the start. You don't have to go through trial and error and testing and measuring and seeing what works and what doesn't. They're giving you the source. All you got to do is put in the work, implement it, and you see the results.
I love that, man. Appreciate those kind words. And as far as you and being inside AIA, what would you say is the biggest thing that you've taken away, like the biggest lesson learned, or the biggest thing that we've helped you out with?
For me, man, I already had, like, I run a sales company, right? So I already had, my DM script, I already had the sales background, I already had my home run offer that could sell to a cold audience. I had a lot of pieces of the puzzle, but it was about putting the pieces together in the right spot. So the biggest takeaway for me would definitely be the back end of setting up the ads. Ads manager can be overwhelming to some people who haven't experienced it before or don't know exactly what they're doing. And by having someone to tell you, click this, don't click that, select this, don't select that, do this for the best results, don't do that. That's something that really stood out for me and was a direct result of why I saw so much success because instead of having to try and error everything myself, I just followed the formula that you provided for us in order to get the right ads in front of the right people and get the right results straight from the beginning. So for me, the biggest takeaway was definitely the setup of the ads manager, and that helped me put all the pieces of the puzzle together and start seeing results pretty much right from the start.
Nice, man. Yeah, and I know a lot of people say very similar things that ads manager and like running ads can be intimidating. How would you, if someone asked you like our strategy with AIA and how we run the ads and how we help you like learn it, would you say our strategy is simple, hard, like for the average person? Like give some insight on that if you don't mind.
Man, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like a monkey can do it, and 10 being you need to be a rocket scientist, I'd say it's probably around a 2 or a 3. Myself, I'm not book smart. I hate reading. I'm dyslexic. I've got ADHD, and I don't use any of that as an excuse to not keep goals. And so for me, I would say I found it around a 3. I didn't think it was complicated at all. I think 99 out of 100 people wouldn't have a problem whatsoever.
Thanks, man. I like the analogy of a monkey to the astronaut because I think that properly explains it. And that's what our goal was when we put this business together is, and I'm sure you see it probably in a lot of the videos as well, as like our mantra is simple scales, complex fails, because when you try to complex things, it just ends up being too hard for some people to understand. So I'm happy to hear that you took away that same lesson inside the ads.
Yeah,
Other
man.
than the ads, what else? Like, what else was a big thing that you learned that you think really, helped you skyrocket your business?
To be honest, man, it's what you just said there a moment ago, and that simple scales, complex fails is something I live my life by now in all my businesses, with my employees, with my relationships, with my business, in the back end, and even with my trading and the students that I have, I tell them the same thing. You can have a trading strategy that's very complex, but you're probably not going to get great results. My trading strategy is so simple. I can give it to my neighbor, my wife, my cousin, my students, and we'll all take the same trades at the same time without talking to each other because it's that simple to follow. So I think the goal, is simple scales, complex fails. And if you can make something very simple, so that a 5-year-old could understand it, and someone can easily implement those steps, that's where the success comes from. That's where the source is. And so I've actually implemented that, throughout all my businesses with everyone that I speak to, and it's really set me aside. And I've seen skyrocketing results because it's true. Simple scales. And the more complicated you make it, the more variables there are, the harder it is, and the worse results. So I take my hat off for you for that, and it's something that I repeat almost on a daily basis now.
Good, good. I always joke around on some of our coaching calls. I'm like, one of the tattoos I'm going to get somebody at some point on this coaching call is right here that says simple scales, complex fails, because it's true. That's how business is. And like, once you adopt that, it just goes into so many aspects of your life. So I'm happy to hear that it's helped your business, but also you're helping other people with it as well.
Yeah, 100%.
So last couple questions for you, my man. How would you describe AIA to a complete stranger?
To a complete stranger, I would say AIA is a program to bypass trial and error if you want to start making money on ads. If you've got a program, or you're a coach, consultant, you have a home run offer, and something that can sell to a cold audience, AIA's program will help you put that in front of more people, get you more leads, get you more conversions, and walk you through step by step. If you don't have the sales background like I do, it doesn't matter. They have sales scripts, they have DM scripts, they walk you through the process on what to say on calls, how to handle clients, and really, I think, anyone who owns a business and has the foundation set up can use the program to skyrocket their leads and their results. At the end of the day, you need to have more conversations with more people to make more money. And that's exactly what ads do, but it's all about getting your ad in front of the most amount of people for the cheapest cost per result. And if that's something you want to achieve and you want to see better results in your business, AIA will definitely help you achieve that.
I appreciate that, man. I think that was exactly spot on how I would say it too, but you probably said even a little bit better. So appreciate you, man. Last thing, we have some people that are on the edge. They've been following us for a little bit. They're like, I don't know if this actually works, even though like watching all these testimonials. I get it. People are sketched out online. Like we live in a world where everybody's an expert. Based off your experience with us, and if you could just acknowledge after this that you did just randomly just find us from online. Like we've never met each other before this. Like what would you say to somebody that is on the fence of joining AIA?
And someone that's on the fence of joining, I would say, what do you have to lose? You either stay where you are, your business doesn't grow, you're not getting more leads, or you invest in your education. And like Hormozy says, your education is the only thing that the government can't tax you out of. You're not going to lose it in a divorce. Doesn't matter what happens in your life, you're always going to have your education. And so I would always recommend everyone invest in their education so that you can learn skills that will pay dividends for the rest of your life. If you're on the fence, you're probably waiting for the perfect time, and that's never going to happen. So just take the leap, and like me, you probably will never look back, and you'll see your business skyrocket in results.
Awesome, brother. Well, cheers to all of your success and cheers to all of your future success. It's been awesome to have you on here, and we'll have to bring you back on next when you hit your next milestone on here, man.
For sure, man. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me part of the team.
Thanks for being here, bro.